This looks like kind of like a metal guitar coming from Ed Sheeran. YouTube. All right, guys, so PRS came out with some new guitars. Well, new depending on how you look at it. You know what? This is NAMM 2026 PRS guitars. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Anyways, thought we'd look at them. This is like my favorite part of the year. Definitely a future goal for the channel is to go to NAMM. That would be so sick. And I know we wouldn't make it cringe like that one guy.
You have a boy's name. That's a very weak handshake.
Let me be clear. The NAMM show is a trade show, not a convention, where a lot of business deals, including those surrounding advertising with social media influencers, is done.
Firm handshake, yes.
That's a different woman. I don't know what's worse. Is it that your head's so far up your ass that you don't know who you're talking to? Or is it that you just critique every woman you've ever met's handshake? Do you just have no social skills?
Yeah, dude, KDH lit that guy up, man. We all know the Ed Sheeran one's a big one to look at. Probably look at that one last. I kind of want to just go over the whole line here. Yeah, I think these are the two like big ones for this year. It's kind of a big deal. I'm pretty sure this is a satin finish for the John Mayer one, but they made a big deal that it is, you know, a colored headstock. It matches the body. It's a limited edition. I think there's 1,000 or 1,500 made. I think it even costs a little bit more too. I'm pretty sure it's 2,800 compared to like the 2,500 they are. I'm getting flashbanged by my monitor right here, but okay, so 28.99, and then if we just go to like a normal one, 27.49. And when I looked at the specs, I mean, it's all pretty much just the same exact thing. So it's just a matching headstock color from what I saw. To me personally, I don't think that's really worth it. Somebody commented on, I made it short on this, TikTok and Instagram. I post daily on those. Typically, I try to keep up with it. And they posted and said that this color reminds them of something like childish and like new, like a new style guitar, like Squire and stuff like that, like their line. I kind of get that. I didn't notice it says like the pickup right there, like engraved. See that engraved on the pickup? It like says PRS, what, 635 jam or something. They say this looks like kind of cheap to them, and I disagree. I actually love blue guitars, but I do understand like where they're coming from with that. I also love the satin feels on guitars, but I could see how people think that feels cheap as well. So I get where they're coming from, but I am a fan of blue ones and satin finishes. So, but I will say, I feel like you can tell more of a difference between a nicer like nitro or poly finish guitar than like a cheap one. I feel like they just like pack on the lacquer and you can like feel that right away. And I will say too, I knew that actually prior to even knowing anything about guitars, because when I got my first SG, I said right away the neck felt different and I couldn't tell why. I thought it was like a thinner finish. That was definitely one of the better guitars that I've ever gotten when I was younger. And I knew right away, like the coating felt so different, like the clear coat compared to like my Epiphone Les Paul that I had. And then later when I found out more about guitars, it was a nitro finish, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because I see people do like the blindfold videos and they're like, well, you wouldn't be able to tell if you were blindfolded, but technically, in a way, I was blindfolded and didn't know, and it felt different to me. So that's all I can say about that. I don't know if this is a new color right here, though. It's kind of interesting. I like that. It's nice. Almost like a purpley gray. What's it called? Black plum. Okay, makes sense. That's satin as well. Okay, so there's a couple satin ones then. Yeah, satin mock. I like that one a lot, actually, too. I don't know if these were already part of the line. I kind of stopped following PRS for a bit. Truth be told, I'm not the biggest PRS fan. I just don't like the way their necks are shaped, really. It's almost like too much of a roundness that I'm just not a fan of. But I will say it's either called the NF or something like that. Let me look it up. The N3, this one right here. These, I think the price point is amazing. I think the colors look sick. The white one looks really good too. There's like a pearl like look to them in person. I actually want to get this one in orange one day. I think the price point and everything, especially if you can find a used one, it's just, you can't beat that. The feel of this neck, I like the feel of a Silver Sky too, I will say that. But this is probably my favorite guitar I've ever played by PRS. I think these guitars are, yeah, you can see some of the shine right there. I think these are amazing guitars. I was kind of hoping to see something a little more like that with PRS this year, but it's nothing really that shocking to me except for the Ed Sheeran one. And I believe these ones came out last year. I don't know if this is a new color for this year's model, but like these are cool too. You know, some new different stuff, but I didn't see anything crazy from PRS this year. No, I will say, just throw it out there, we did have the Herman Lee ones, but that was technically, you know, 2025. Right towards the end there. I mean, these are pretty cool. They could have came out with like some other colored ones. I thought they would have, but like an all gold one would be kind of insane, you know? Didn't Joe Satriani do something like that or something like that? That would be a really cool version of these. I still think these are kind of really pushing the price point. You do get a lot of guitar for it, but Those things got to be set up and playing perfectly, in my opinion, for a $2,000 SE model. But I've also been saying time and time again that in a lot of my videos that it kind of seems like these lower, like mid, well, I won't say low, but mid-tier level guitars are now getting up in that price range where it's kind of where like the low-end Americans used to be, and it's kind of like you're outweighing if you get an American or I guess a high-end overseas product. No matter what, I don't think anybody can beat made in Japan. Even my USA guitars, I have some really nice ones too. Made in Japan guitars, some of the best I've ever played in my life. I know people say that online and you're just like not really sure, but I'm telling you, you can never, I've never gone wrong with a made in Japan. Even when I've played some in the shop and stuff, every made in Japan I have to play it because it always plays flawlessly. But yeah, they posted these ones right here, and I mean, they look cool. You know, I think this one right here looks really cool. It's a nice finish on there. Looks like maybe the satin ones are new for the Silver Skies. Could be wrong again still, but it looks like they're new for this year. But it's really nothing like crazy, you know. This one right here, actually, this semi-hollow blue one looks really cool. Nothing I personally rock, but I definitely play it. So something I didn't know is that this year's SC model, it's the 25th year anniversary, which is pretty cool. But this Zach Myers one is actually really cool. I like this finish a lot. Elderberry burst finish is just, it's really nice looking. I like the brass saddles as well. I always said one of the things that's cool about his models are it just always seems like a higher class guitar. Seems like you're getting a lot more for your money. Kind of like the N3 that I was showing earlier. I felt like you get a lot for what you're paying for. Also, side note, the one right behind the guy on the left, that looks really nice as well. Kind of looks like it might have a different carve than normal too to the body. I believe that's a 594. And then we have the Ed Sheeran signature, which this is crazy. As the piezo pickups, I mean, talk about getting a lot for your money. This is 1600, which again, compared to the Herman Lee, which is 2K, you're getting a lot of guitar for what, $400 less than that. Now, I've never played through these pickups, but I assume they play really well. I'm just a huge fan of the paint splattered in general, because I've actually considered doing this exact color scheme to one of my guitars. I have a painting back here. I don't know if you can see it kind of like this. This thing, I love this thing so much. I got a really good deal on it. I saw that at the store and I was like, I wish I did it myself. You know, I really did. And I was like, I need to buy it. I went back like a month later and they still had it. And I was like, okay, I need to get it for my room. And I think it's so cool that this looks literally, it's the same exact color scheme. It looks exactly like it. Also, I'm not a big fan of when they go like kind of crazy with inlays. I mean, first of all, this guitar looks nothing like an Ed Sheeran guitar. Like, I would have never expected this. It's a baritone piezo pickup, what, hollow body. That's just insane to me. And the fact that it's like borderline affordable, I guess you could say. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. If I had the money, I would definitely buy this. I also found out later that it comes with like a mini portrait and it's signed by Ed Sheeran. So that's also really cool if you're like a giant Ed Sheeran fan, or if you just want it in general. Definitely something to also consider. But I mean, dude, having this giant thing and have it being a hollow body so it's light, I think that's just a win-win-win-win. Like I said, if I could get that guitar, I totally would. I think that's probably the coolest guitar and most talked about so far this year. Well, it's not the most talked about, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I think it's just like a wow factor that this looks like kind of like a metal guitar coming from Ed Sheeran. But yeah, that guitar is just crazy looking. I'm curious to know what you guys thought. Are there any PRS guitars this year that I missed that you thought were like really cool and worth checking out? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and sub. I'll catch you next one. Peace.